All right, what's up everybody? This has been a long awaited video. So as you guys can see on the screen, we have Topstep. What I'm going to do, and this was a recommendation by a man named Paul, so I appreciate you, Paul, if you're listening to this, but the recommendation was showing from start to finish, buying an evaluation with a prop firm, showing the whole process, winning days, losing days, hopefully more winning days than losing days, but showing the whole process, and then eventually passing that evaluation and going into a funded account and getting a withdrawal with that account. Starting off, we're going to do Topstep, and I'm going to show you the process of purchasing. I'm going to block some things out so you can't see personal information, but here goes the process. This is the main screen. I am going to skip through where I actually purchased the evaluation. I will show you on the Topstep trading platform a brand new account. The total balance will be $0, and from there I'll show you a trade by trade play out of how this goes. So hopefully it goes smooth, but here we go, guys. Here goes the checkout screen. What we're going to do is click Topstep X. From here, I'm going to click next, and then it says $49 a month until passed. I don't have a promo code. If anybody has a promo code and has seen this video, shoot me some. So I'm going to click complete purchase. Stay tuned, guys. All right, so as you guys can see, it shows account balance high of 50,000, current 50,000 low. This is a brand new trading account. So what I'm gonna do is click launch Topstep X, and now you guys can see we're on a brand new account. I'm gonna pull my Thinkorswim charts over to the left hand side, and I'll keep Topstep X here, and we are going to trade based off of this. Since this is a combine and evaluation, I will be trading with NQ. Once it's funded, I'm going to change off of that. So we're looking for a short setup here, and I'll draw up where our take profits are going to be. We're going to try to get filled right at that point. It's going to come back up and respect our guppy moving averages. I'm going to set a stop at the high. And a take profit will be, let's see, looking at two different screens here, it's going to be about $200 is where we'll set it at. So we're going to bring this down a little bit further, and we're going to bring this down a little bit further here, and we're going to let this play out. So max position size on this trade is going to be 2 contracts of NQ. Our max drawdown, what we add into this, is going to be $150, and our take profit is going to be roughly $220 with 1 contract if we don't get a second fill. Otherwise, we're just going to keep it at this. For the evaluation, I'm going to give myself a wider stop if I think the continuation is going to be to the downside. So in a perfect world, this is going to make the move, the continuation down. We're going to get our quick 200 for the day, 200 plus I would say for the day, and call it within a couple minutes here. And I'll speed this trade up probably if it does take a little bit. But I do want to show you guys what my chart on my left-hand screen looks like. I'm going to move that over. So we entered into this a little bit late for the sake of placing these trades, but we entered in off of the retest. So when it came back up to these guppy moving averages, a perfect entry would have been up here, and we were at this point. So we waited until it retested, and that's where we entered into our short. I already know some people are going to say, oh, your stop is so much higher than your take profit. Just trust the system. There it is, just like that. Calm and collective, we were at $200 on day 1. It's already 12:30 p.m., but you guys can see how quickly $200 can be made in the stock market. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Hey everybody, a quick update on today's live trading. I did take one more trade that unfortunately was not captured on the screen recording software. I took a long on NQ for 17 points in my direction. This is the trade setup right here with a stop of roughly 12 points is what I gave myself to keep it so the risk to reward was still still in my court, so that brought in an additional $300+, and I'll show you guys a screenshot on the total of the day just to make sure these numbers all match up going forward. Of course, you guys are just gonna have to bear with me as this is a new series of live trading and live recording everything, so I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. As we continue to move forward, I'll try to capture every single trade. Here goes the setup, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I want to apologize again for the last clip where I missed my last trades yesterday. What I'm going to do is place a trade or two today. I'm actually going to enter long on this play right here and try to grab our trades for the day. What I mentioned in the last video is that my main focus is going to be on NQ. What I meant by that is it's going to be ES and NQ. I'm going to trade mini contracts for the evaluation, and the funded account is where I'm going to trade micro contracts. So in this case right here, I'm looking for about $200 for this trade. If it can hit that, I will get out of the trade and then move on to the next one. Since we are placing a trade later on in the day, it becomes a little bit more consolidated until we break free in either direction. So right now our bias is still to the upside on our 6,000 tick chart. We're looking to make a move to the high of day and pass through that. I'm going to speed up these trades as I go through them and show you guys an update after each trade. All right, so unfortunately that did hit our stop. Here goes our loss on the day. So we are at -144. Total balance is still $427. We're still gonna place another trade today. If it is another loser, we will be done for the day. All right, since we are retesting, we are going to take this short opportunity and try to grab us a few points to the downside. Right now, our total is $73. Again, this time of day, it's a little wishy-washy, so we had our take profit still pretty tight, but bigger than our stop on the previous. I'll have to review the video, but it came to about 140 on that. And then our take profit was just north of $200, and we got to $73 green on the day. If we see that it's a lot of back and forth, we might cut the day short. We're going to stay after it, and I'll update you guys on the next trade. As you guys can see, there's been two opportunities, both short and long, where they would have hit at least 3 points, maybe even 4 points in our direction. I personally didn't like either of the trades, and I don't want to force anything, especially for something education related. I don't want to just take a trade to take a trade. Realistically, the trend could be changing at this point, but I didn't like the setup to the downside. And on the opposite side, the long opportunity here, which still hit 4 points in our direction, we are at the point where we made an attempt to the upside not once, but twice. And at this point of the day, we're very consolidated on the 6,000 tick chart. I just don't like either of these setups to look for at least 3 to 5 points in my direction. So if I zoom out a little bit here, you can see where we're at. There's not too much movement. It's been very consolidated compared to earlier today, where there was tons of opportunity for pretty substantial moves. And again, there's a reason why I like trading from 9 until 11, but that's where we're going to leave it today. So just north of $70. Again, this is day 2. We're up just under $650 in the account. I hope you guys have a great day, and see you guys next time. Alright guys, so we're starting a little bit later on in the day. If we can get a short setup right here, it's not the ideal situation, but we are going to take this, especially because we are pushing towards end of day here. It's already almost 2 p.m. Central Standard, so I will take this trade to the downside if it sets up. Since this will be a quicker day, we're looking for about $300 profit with about $200 as a stop. Again, you guys are going to notice that I adjust my stops and take profits depending on time of day that we're trading, so the amount of trades that are actually available, and then what position sizing that we're trading. So we are looking at NQ again today. Hopefully we can grab a quick $300 and push on to the next day. And this is why I stress to have a point system in place, because that just so happened to work out perfectly for us hitting our take profit and then reversing quite a bit into the moving averages again. It's from backtesting this strategy, thousands of trades, mainly trading ES, but on NQ as well. Typically a 12 and 8 point stop or a 15 and 10 point or a 20 and 15 point stop all make sense. All right, guys, so I'm going to bring over Topstep X so you guys can see where we're at on the day. So if I maximize this, you can see that we are still in the combine. Our total is $50,950 with a total on the day of $304. That's one trade that hit perfectly. So instead of risking giving some back, especially leading into the close, that's going to be the only trade that I'm placing for today. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We were on day 4 and heading into this day of trading, we were just under $1,000 of profit. Our goal for today was $400 profit with a stop of $250. We knew that there was going to be some movement leading into the holidays. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, but once we hit our profit on the day, we were done. You might notice that we're saying were, meaning I already placed the trades. The same situation happened with the software. I clicked play, was running behind for the last hour and a half. When I went to go check the amount of time that the video was, I saw that it was not recording anymore for whatever reason. So this is something that you guys, again, are gonna have to bear with me. I'm trying to put myself out there and be as transparent as possible. So if we do pass this account, I'll show you guys the calendar of trading and then we can go from there. So today I wanna go through the trades that I took with the stops that I had in place. So the first trade I took at a 2 point take profit with a 1.5 stop, 2 points green for the first trade or $100. And somebody might ask, why only 2 points, or why not 3 points, why not 4 points, whatever the case might be. Since I'm trading mini contracts right away to speed this process along, I don't want to put myself in a position where 2 or 3 losing trades are going to wipe clean all my gains. So I'm keeping everything very consistent and much tighter than I would if I was trading micro contracts. First take profit did hit for 2 points. We moved on to the next trade. We are on the 6,000 tick in a very consistent downtrend. You guys can see it's hindsight now, but I took a trade going against the trend with a take profit target of 3 points with a stop of 1.75. We ended up losing that trade with a 1.75 stop. So our total on the day was 0.25, literally like $12, a little bit less than that after commissions. We slowly start expanding our take profits and stops. So on trade 3, we have a set take profit of 3 points with a stop of 2. It ends up hitting our 3 points and then some. When we're trading micro contracts, we're going to try to grab a little bit more of the trend, but right now, since we're trading only one mini contract, we're limited to set take profits only. And then you can see, since we got burned on the last long, we took another trade to the downside. I'll clear the text here in a little bit, but you guys can see we have 2 take profits, and you're going to hear me talk about this all the time on the 6,000 tick as a reference or a guide of where we're heading towards. Take profit 1, we came down and respected that for a while and then made our lows down to the second take profit down here. And within that, we took another trade to the downside. So if you guys look to the 133 tick, we had a 4.5 take profit with a 2.5 stop. I slowly scaled it up so I didn't keep going back and forth. I either want to hit my take profit total on the day or come close to it, or hit my stops and just know that it's not the right trading day. What I don't want to do is go back and forth for these little 1 to 2 point moves and continue trading throughout the whole day. So we did hit our 4.5 points into the downside. Our total on the day was just over 7 points. And our last trade, we switched to micro contracts. In hindsight, it would have been a beautiful trade with a full ES contract, and we could have grabbed more than our daily total we were aiming for. But since I was at just under 8 points on the day, I didn't want to risk giving back a percentage of that trading against the trend. So I traded with a micro contract and ended up hitting 5 points in our direction, which was about $25, a little bit over that. The stop that I had in place was 3 points. So that brings our total on the day to $413 after those trades, with a total balance on the account of $51,364. We are just about halfway there of passing. And again, I'm going to have to find a way to be more efficient as far as making these videos in the future, because I know as I'm going through it, there's some things that I want to cover a little bit more in depth, but I want to get this out there. So just bear with me. If all goes well and I pass this account within the next couple days, I'm going to jump over to Apex and live trade an evaluation on there. And then I'm going to go into the funded accounts on both of them. Again, we are just at 4 days into this whole experience. We're going to keep pushing forward. The goal is to pass this account before Christmas. I hope you guys have a great day and see you guys in the next video. Hey team, it's Black Friday today. The market is back open. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving with those that matter most. There is always money to be made in the market, and I really encourage everybody that's either new to getting involved with the stock market or has been around for a while to take the time needed to focus on personal matters, spending time with family, because you don't get that time back. There is always money to be made. Going into our video today, we started trading at 9:56 a.m. this morning. You guys are going to have to bear with me as far as these recordings. Today I didn't have my microphone on, so I have to go through this again, and I'm going to make multiple videos like this, and I know people are waiting, so I'm going to continue pushing forward, and this just means it's even more transparent rather than me scripting only trades that make money. Obviously you guys have seen a couple losing trades already. I'm just giving you guys my mindset, my thought process as I take a trade. The more trades you see, the more it's going to make sense of how I trade this system. Since there was a ton of volume today, I was looking for bigger moves and giving myself a little bit bigger stop. So in this case, I gave myself roughly 11 point stop or $220, which if you hit 2 or 3 of those back to back to back, that can dig into the profit that we were already at on this account, but I put that into perspective. I want to encourage you guys to have a daily trading plan and a trade by trade plan, meaning the dollar amount per trade and per day that you're willing to risk. I was willing to risk $220 with a take profit of 15 points roughly. I'll scroll over to the right. You can see it ended up moving 40 points in our direction. And when we are trading multiple micro contracts on the funded account, we are going to capture much bigger moves. But as far as trading only one mini contract for the time being to pass this evaluation as quickly as possible, we had to cut ourselves short a little bit of the opportunity just to keep the risk to reward in our court. And we were fine with that dollar amount. Obviously 15 points is $300 roughly. So we are completely fine with hitting that on our first trade. It takes the pressure off of our shoulders going into the next trade. You guys can see how far this moves. Our trade ended here. So we were sitting on our hands and not re-entering. A lot of people ask me, oh, do you re-enter trades? If you re-enter a trade, just know that you're at higher risk of it going against you. It doesn't mean that this could not keep running for another 100 points. It just means it already made the first move we were looking for. Now we're putting ourselves in a position to still capture another trade, but a little bit higher risk that it could go against us, because now you have that room to come back and retrace that we just took profit from. If I would have exited here like I did and looked for another entry point, I could have came and taken a trade here, and I would have had to give myself 15 points of stop. So it would have hit my stop before continuing in the upward direction. So just giving you guys that, my 2 cents as I'm going through this. It ended up going, like I said, about 40 points in our direction, which, you know, it's all hindsight. It doesn't matter. We already took profit on it, so it is what it is. I looked for the next trade set up for the downside because I knew I was only going to be in front of the screen until about 11, so I don't have too much time left. I might take one more on this live recording now that we are full go. We have everything set up as far as the microphone, the recording, all of that. So we took a trade to the downside. We had similar risk, 11 point roughly as a stop, about $220 with a take profit that it did hit, thankfully, of 15 points in our direction. So another $300. So I'll scroll over and show you guys where we're at. We're actually going to look at this long position right here as I'm talking. We're a little bit late. We are going to aim for another $100 in our direction with a stop of 50. So let's enter in this trade. Give me a second here to navigate over. And let me put this stop in place. Just bear with me. Not a bad setup. We already did make our first attempt up to the first take profit, so this could easily hit our stop before it continues higher, but that is what we're looking for. And if it does end up breaking all these moving averages on the 133, if it does break these moving averages and head lower, that will most likely hit our stop, and we will be out of this trade for about a $100 loss if it does hit that, and it'll bring us to about $500 on the day. We are pretty close to that actually as we sit. By the time we got in, we were right here. Ooh, that came very close to it, so we're about 4 points in our direction. If it does hit about here, that's going to be our stop on this trade for a $100 loss, and that will most likely be it for the day. If it does hit our take profit, we are up at nearly $700 on the day. All right, so as you guys can see, that last trade of the day did hit take profit of just over 6 points. I'm going to bring over the trades for the day and show you guys our total. So we are at $720. Our total balance is $52,085. So we are less than $1,000 away from passing this evaluation. For the remaining videos, I will have everything set up to speed. The audio will be correct. The screen share and recording software will be correct. And again, this won't be the only one that I do. I'm adjusting as I'm getting used to this, and I'm going to make maybe 1 or 2 more videos for sure I'm going to make a video on Apex and go through that whole system. As far as Topstep, who knows? I might go through another evaluation and only trade micro contracts now that I'll have more time after this one's a release, because I know a lot of people have been waiting on this and I want to get it out to you guys. Again, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you guys on Monday in the next video. Take care. What's up, team, and welcome back to another video. As I started this video right now, I'm a little bit late, but I'm going to be jumping into a short as a retest back into these moving averages. So right here, we're going to go short, and we're going to have our stop set for $150 and our take profit at $200. By the time I got my video set up, we entered in a little bit late, which actually gave us a little bit better entry. Currently, right now, we're up $70 on this trade. Alright guys, so I'm going to bring the balance over. I had my take profit just a tick shy, even though I can see right now as I'm talking it would have hit the full 200, but right now our total balance on this account is $52,272. Just wanted to update you guys on that for today. I am going live on TikTok and Discord in about 5 minutes, so that's the only trade we're going to place today. Why did I take this trade? By the time I got in front of my screen, you can see the move already happened down. It just worked out nicely that this is where I got on, got everything locked in, and when we retested into the moving averages is where I entered. Typically I enter right on the first pink arrow, but the separation, I waited for a quick retest into that, and you can see we pushed lower and even would have made more if I had multiple contracts. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright guys, welcome back. We had an amazing time trading on TikTok live today, so we're going to jump over now to this video segment. So as you guys know, we're about $700 away from passing our first attempt at this evaluation. Since this YouTube series of trading live, our total balance is $52,272. I'll bring this over for you guys really quickly so you guys can see this. So our drawdown is going to be $50,000. Total balance right now is $52,272. What I'm going to do is first and foremost show you guys the trades on TikTok live. Great opportunity for a downside move. If you guys have been on my lives before, a lot of the time I start talking, get caught up in questions. So we only took one of the trades and hit our $200 profit in our funded account. Of course, I want to save this account for once I am live recording and the screen recording software in the background. So let's see if we can catch another trade. Of course, a lot of the moves already happened, but we're going to look for a quick move of at least $300 profit just to hurry up and finish this evaluation. And then we are going to continue pushing forward from there. I'm looking for the first white arrow to the upside. We are going against the 6,000 tick, but we already did have a pretty good move down. If we end up moving and breaking this ATR, we're going to look for a short setup again. But after this move right here, you can see we're kind of in a consolidating area, but we're going to enter this trade to the upside if this arrow forms and closes, and I'll show you guys the total as soon as I get that set up. All right, so that trade ended up hitting. It was about 8 points in my direction, or $156. So our total balance on this account is $52,429. We're going to try to take one more trade with a little bit lighter risk. So we're going to switch over to micro contracts and try to hit at least $250 to $300. So about $100 more of profit is what we're looking for. And then we will stop out if we hit two back-to-back losing trades. So let's switch over to micro contracts, try to get to this at least $250 of profit, and then we'll push on to the next day. I'm just going to jump back on here really quickly. This is the only downfall of trading one mini contract. I got out of this trade before it really started to push. We would have already hit our $300 target on the day if we would have just stuck in this trade. But again, $150 profit is $150 profit, especially when our stop was going to be about $120. So a pretty close risk to reward. But of course, this is going to continue to push here now for the short term while we're sitting on the sidelines. I'm just going to fast forward this video until another trade lines up. All right, as you guys can see, we just continued to trek higher. Our entry was all the way down here, and it moved a high of 57 points in 37 minutes. Remember, it's $20 per point. We exited at 8-point profit because we're only in one contract, aiming for about $300 a day. In a perfect world, we would have known that it would have hit the 300 on that first trade, but we want to keep our risk to reward as a focal point on every single trade. We are actually setting up right here for a potential downward play. We are going against the 6,000 tick now, but with a few micro contracts, we can get into this trade and aim for our dollar amount per day. So let's look to see if this plays out as I was just about to log off. We're looking for the first pink arrow to the downside. Since the last arrow was pink, this might push a little bit further down, give us a white arrow, push back up, and then continue lower. But we'll see how this one plays out. There goes the white arrow. Here goes setting up for a pink arrow. All right, let's get into this trade here. A little bit of separation. So we're going to give ourselves about a 17-point stop. All right, guys, we're going to let the last 3 contracts run for a little bit here, and then I'll update you guys on the total dollar amount. If we do retrace and break the ATR at any point, I'll sell out of the remaining 3 contracts, which will still be a profitable trade at some sort, but hopefully it can make the push down near to where our last take profits are. We did just hit all of our 3 take profits with the micro contracts. So our total balance in our account is $52,499, $226. Just so you guys can understand, if I would have a big losing day, I would have to go through and build that back. So these small consistent days are definitely paying. $226 on one of our accounts today. We are going to push forward. We are just over $500 away from passing this evaluation. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Hey team, welcome back to another video. As you guys can see down here, we're starting the day a little bit late again. There was unfortunate news that I received. My grandfather, 97 years old, took a spill. He lives in Florida and hit his head pretty badly. Eyes are black and blue, and he's in the hospital currently. So as I'm making this video, I'm actually looking at booking a flight. If you guys don't know, I'm from the Midwest, so I'm gonna book a flight down south and spend some time with my grandfather and grandmother. But essentially what you guys are seeing here is we hit an all-time high on NQ. By the time I logged on today, we had a quick pullback and I was looking for a long entry. I was a little bit late to the trade, but I wanted to take it anyways. I am gonna drag over Topstep X on this video and show you guys something that I just learned today. If you enter a trade, you can literally click on where your entry was and drag it down or drag it up depending on which direction your take profit is or your stop is, and it automatically will place a bracket order. Absolutely game changing. So as you can see, I pulled it over right here. If you click where I was showing with my cursor and drag it down, it's going to plot an OCO, which is an order cancels order, and then you can use that for your stop and take profit. If it triggers one of the two, it's automatically going to cancel, rather than what I was doing where I was right clicking and putting a stop or take profit order in, which wouldn't trigger an OCO. It would keep the other order open, and that's why I think I had that issue where a trade opened up without me being on the platform. So as you guys can see, we are still long this trade at this point. We're going to let this play out. So if we hit this, we're going to be at about 52,700 and maybe 22 or 23 after commission. So about $222 on the day if this does hit our take profit, and we're going to let this play out. I'm going to draw up a line here, a rough estimate of where it's going to have to hit, so you can visually see on Thinkorswim where that's going to be. All right, so here we go. So I'm drawing up that line at this point, just kind of giving you a visual price target. And again, we're going to let it play out pretty close to where that line is. And as soon as it hits either direction, we're going to take this trade off and we're going to look for our next trade. And that's where this new video is going to come into play. All right, so you guys can see that that take profit did hit, so we're at $222 on the day. Total account balance is $52,721. We are less than $300 away from passing this evaluation. Once we are within $150, we are going to switch to micro contracts just to lighten the load of pressure of being right on the next trade and not putting ourselves in a position to give back some of that profit. So we're going to keep going forward here and look for the next trade setup. All right, team. So unfortunately, I didn't take another trade today. I wanted to just come back on here. I didn't think the range looked good enough to the upside, so I didn't take this trade, which would have gave us plenty to pass this evaluation. We are just under $300 away from passing. I've yet to book a flight. We're going to treat it as if I'm going to play some trades tomorrow. Either way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for sticking around, and talk to you guys soon. Hey team, welcome back to what should be the last video in our evaluation segment for Topstep, and then I can jump forward into the funded account as well as Apex and my funded futures. I'm going to be trading multiple prop firms, showing how I pass them, how I change up my strategy a little bit differently depending if it's an unrealized trailing or a realized trailing. Today we are less than $300 away from passing this evaluation. We are going to switch to micro contracts, so we'll be trading 3 to 6 MNQ contracts. We are going to be looking for a quick trade here. Actually, to the downside right now wouldn't be the worst timing for that. We are above the moving averages, but I think this is going to push lower. I'm going to take a quick trade here and just try to grab a few points. There you go, a quick $40 profit on the first trade. We are at $52,760. All right, guys, we're doing it. We're going to switch over to ES and MES to see how those charts are looking, because it has not been easy on NQ. And it looks like ES has been a very gradual incline for the day. This might be our better bet. NQ and MNQ have not found their direction yet. It's already pushing 930, so I want to get in a couple more trades, and we are going to look at 3 to 5 contracts. We're actually going to look at a long play right now. So just so you guys know, that white dashed line is going to be our final take profit. But we do have a take profit at 38.75, roughly 39, so it's right about there. And then our last is at 40. So just a quick scale out. I'll show you guys where we're at as far as this right now. And we're going to let this play out. All right, guys, so we're going to bring this last contract to break even, or just above break even. If it would hit that, we want to at least make sure we take a little bit of profit on this last one. Otherwise, this day is just going to be a back and forth. We'd rather be profitable on the day and move into less than $200 until we pass this evaluation. Honestly, if I would have been in one ES contract, we would have been done for this evaluation. We're trying to scale down a little bit here so we don't give back profits, and we close in on that last $200. All right, guys, so where we're at on the day is $94. We have 52,814. We are less than $190 away from passing this evaluation. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I'm going to pause it here and potentially come back in a few hours. I'm going to go live on TikTok as we speak. Not the most enjoyable day. We will tune back in shortly. Take care and talk to you guys soon. All right, guys, we're back on here. We just got off of a TikTok live for a couple hours and we are jumping right into this. We're going to look for a quick short entry to the downside potentially here and pass this evaluation. Let's go just straight up ES and move forward into the funded account. Let's get this set up. Go down here. It'd be nice to see this drop down to about 61.40. That would be perfect. 61.40 would be our exit for about $75. It was 61.40.75 was our exit. And there we go. We hit a very quick downside trade, literally just over 2 points away on ES for passing this evaluation and moving to the funded account. Let's try to grab that in the next few minutes here. Obviously, if we would have just stayed in this trade for our 3-point move originally, we would have already passed this evaluation, but we chose the hard route. All right, guys, so as you can see, we are back on here waiting for another opportunity. It would be perfect if we could get back above these moving averages or somewhere close to it, get the white arrow, and we would enter 2 to 3 micro contracts for a quick trade to the upside, pass this evaluation, move on to the funded account. So let's get this going. We just need to see that first white arrow. Perfect. All right, so we're taking this trade. We're going to let this play out one way or the other. Done with the games, done with the back and forth. I'm going to speed this video up if it takes quite some time. All right, guys, coming back into this, as patient as we have been, I actually got some work done on another monitor. I'm going to get out of this trade, even though we could have taken a little bit of profit multiple times. As I drag this up, if it gets to negative $27 on the trade, it will still be above 200 on the day. And unfortunately, we will just have to move on to the next trading day. Leading into news here, it looks like it could potentially push down much lower. And I don't want to risk giving back $50 and then even more if I enter another trade. So we're going to end it right there. Unfortunately, we have one more cliffhanger. We're about $80 away from passing, and we'll move on to tomorrow's trading session. Have a great day, guys, and talk to you guys in the next video. All right, guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be, I guarantee it, this will be the last video of this evaluation. I have learned a ton about my personal trading, especially when I'm monitored in front of a screen where I can't just take a early entry trade or anything like that. This has been a blessing in disguise to better serve you guys, and I can't wait to post this across social media. So what we're looking for is one more trade today. We are just about $50 away from passing this evaluation. We're going to look for one play, and we'll just have a 1-to-1 risk to reward, make it as simple as possible. And of course, you can see this huge move down leading into yesterday, and then where we're at right now. I'll show you guys on my funded account how well we've been doing, just hitting our $200 on Topstep and then going over to Apex. Again, don't think this is going to be the only video series that we're posting. We're literally jumping to my funded futures after this and then Apex after that. All right, guys, so what we're looking at here, we have NQ pulled up. This is going to be a very quick trade in either direction. We did have a few opportunities for a few short plays. I would really like to break above the moving averages, fan up, break this ATR, and get a quick push up before it potentially continues lower. Otherwise, we might just have to continue with this trend and just aim for a few point move down on MNQ. Either way, stay tuned. I'll show you guys when we're placing a trade, and then we'll go from there. I am going long here, and I'm going to grab the remaining points. I know I'm beating the white arrow. Did I beat the white arrow? Yes, I did. And again, I wanted to be hesitant on doing that, especially throughout this whole series. But there are some instances where you just know where a certain amount of points are going to come from. And if you beat out the second indicator, you just have to know that it's a higher risk of a trade, but you're aiming for a quicker point system. We were able to pass this evaluation. Stay tuned, guys. What I'm going to do is end of day today, they'll send me over the confirmation that I was able to pass this evaluation. And then I'm going to personally start the video for the funded account series of me purchasing the funded account and jumping into it. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for staying tuned with all this. We have a lot to work on to make these videos more efficient and valuable. Again, it's been a great learning experience for me, and I hope you guys take a lot of value from this. Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to show you guys this final screen showing each of the trading days. So it says days complete 13. There was like 2 or 3 days that I accidentally placed a trade that literally I sold it instantly as soon as I realized I was on this account compared to another evaluation. But either way, this is me going through showing the activation for the express funded account going into the funded account. There is a one-time fee that comes with this at $149, and that is it as far as overhead. So if this is the only video that you guys have come across as far as my trading style and my personal brand, I highly recommend and encourage that you guys connect with me across any social media platform. I'm most active on Instagram and TikTok, and we'll be posting much more frequently on YouTube. If you guys have any interest in going forward with any of the prop firms such as Apex, MyFunded Futures, or Topstep, you guys can always try using my coupon code. I'll leave it in the bio. It's OPT92A. That's going to give you the best discount and biggest discount that any of these prop firms are offering. As far as the strategy that I use, if you guys ever have more questions about that, you guys can always reach out or check out www.onepurposetrading.com to find out more about my mentorship, just checking off 4 years of being self-employed in this industry. Again, thanks for tuning in and listening to the end. Hopefully I'll have the pleasure of meeting you guys soon. Take care and Happy New Year.